Intamin is the manufacturer that enthusiasts adore the most generally. However, that doesn't mean park chains and parks do. Intamin's coasters have never been reliable, and chains like Cedar Fair now refuse to work with this brilliant manufacturer. Well, I think so until now. Intamin has taken a 180 with their reliability problems on their newest coasters. Today, I'm teaming up with none other than WNY Coasters to explain exactly how Intamin is making a comeback in the US. Let's start off with how Intamin got themselves into this pickle. With the turn of the millennium, Intamin asserted their dominance with insane new record breakers such as Millie, then Dragster, then Ka. Intamin's coasters were years ahead of their time. Who wouldn't want to work with Intamin during the coaster wars when they were breaking every record? Well, that was before parks found out about how unreliable these coasters actually were.
Intamin coasters have been plagued with issues over the years. For whatever reason, Intamin rides seem to have more downtime than most other manufacturers' rides do. You could probably name a coaster in the US right now that is made by Intamin that is closed for an extended period of time. I feel like there's always just bound to be one. Intamin used their technologically advanced rides to rope US parks seeking to build the largest coasters on Earth to purchase something from them. However, after bigger chains like Cedar Fair and Six Flags realized that not only were these rides expensive, they were hard to maintain as well. Once larger American-based chains stopped purchasing Intamins, their presence started to fade in the US.
And so it did. Six Flags and Cedar Fair, the biggest thrill park chains, completely stopped working with them. In response to this, Intamin tried making their new coasters more reliable. That still wasn't enough. Intamin had many other obstacles to surmount. They had many notable accidents on their coasters, such as Dragster and Superman the Ride, which might not have been their fault, but chains just don't care.
We do not care.
Capacity was another issue that Intamin needed to get past. Intamin would find a way to fix this later on, luckily. However, around that time, Volcano the Blast Coaster closed because of, who would have guessed, its reliability issues. Intamin knew they needed to do something if they wanted to make a comeback in the US, the biggest market, and they went about it in perfect fashion.
Intamin faded out of the US after the 2000s gold rush, but they didn't fall out completely. Busch Gardens Tampa contacted them to build Cheetah Hunt in 2011. And they also got a call from Hershey Park to build Skyrush in 2012 and Universal to help build Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts in 2014. We didn't see another Intamin get built in the US until 2017 with Wavebreaker, the rescue coaster, being built at SeaWorld San Antonio. This ride didn't seem like much, but this got SeaWorld interested in buying some of their other products. Intamin was also called to build two coasters for the new Nickelodeon Universe park in New Jersey, one of which was a new style of coaster in Sandy's Blasting Bronco. 2019 also marked the year where Intamin returned to Universal to build one of their biggest and best creations in years.
All of these projects made other chains trust Intamin, and in 2019, construction began on Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure, the most expensive coaster at a whopping $300 million. Intamin whipped out their finest technology that they had. A world record 7 launches, switch track that carries the train forward and backwards, and a drop track. Although it was unreliable when it first opened, Hagrid's rarely closes now, believe it or not. Intamin also created the trains and layout to have great capacity, even though Hagrid's still has the longest line in the park. Universal knew that Intamin was the only manufacturer that could create a one-of-a-kind coaster like Hagrid's. Universal was clearly impressed and had something bigger planned to build with Intamin.
Construction walls were soon up in the Jurassic Park section of the park, and a new project was underway. This one was said to be much more thrilling. Not long after the park was closed for a short time due to COVID, a new launch coaster from Intamin named Velocicoaster was quickly being constructed. It was a near perfect combination of theming and thrills, as many people proclaimed it to be the best coaster in the world after it opened. Intamin's creativity was on full display with the Mosasaurus roll among many other fruitful elements. Everyone who had the chance to ride was wowed by this coaster and couldn't wait to see more of this from Intamin. This coaster opened up in 2021, and although it was probably in the planning stages for years prior, there was another coaster intended for the year 2020 that Intamin was also building up north with many similar qualities to Velocicoaster.
Clearly, the back-to-back successes got the attention of SeaWorld Entertainment and wanted Intamin to build something as if not more special than Hagrid's or Velocicoaster. Pantheon is an Intamin multi-launch using everything Intamin can do. Pantheon is proclaimed by some early riders to be the greatest Intamin created. It is not yet open to the public due to COVID, but that had nothing to do with Intamin. With the likelihood of Pantheon, I don't see Cedar Fair not being tempted to buy a multi-launch from them. They are now reliable, capacity machines, low maintenance, and best of all, way ahead of their time. With Six Flags under a new CEO that leans towards the Cedar Fair business model, I can see Six Flags buying Blitz coasters for some of their parks in need of one, such as Six Flags America, Darien Lake, and St. Louis. With Intamin grasping the thrill park chains on top of SeaWorld and Universal, Intamin will be back on top to their former glory once again.